She's been there, done that, and now she's set for the big leap. On Duologue NXT, the new crown jewel of modeling, Rhea Singha, unravels her next destination, Bollywood. A steady head on a young shoulder. Let's preview the trailer of her life ahead. This is Duologue NXT with me, Barun. Rhea,
Yes.
welcome to Duologue NXT. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you as well.
Have you read a book written by Marshall Goldsmith? What got you here won't get you there.
The title in itself is something, huh?
That's right. The gentleman says that super achievers like you, whatever they've achieved so far, they've reached a certain level, but they need to take a fresh guard at that point in time. So if they want to scale newer heights from there.
Yeah.
Rings a bell?
It does. And I think it's very intriguing when titles like this are there on books because it really gets you to catch them. And although I haven't read it, I think that in itself can teach me something. It really can drive a whole lot of a conversation. I was actually the last applicant for Miss Universe India, fun fact. And when I got in, I obviously knew that there are going to be many different aspects that we have to cover. It's not just
one
beauty.
second. So every state has a representative, right?
Every state does, yes.
So you did not participate in your state qualification.
No.
You did not participate.
No.
All right. And
Although this year you have to participate in every single state for you to apply to the
eligible
wild
for
card.
applications.
But for me, in my year, that wasn't a requirement. So it was a last-minute application that I put in on the same day.
How did that happen?
Well, I was scrolling through Instagram and I came across a post that Miss Universe India had put out. And I honestly thought it was a prank. I didn't even believe my eyes. So I found that and then I was like, should I go or not? I asked my dad. And I had paid for like this really expensive acting course, which was on the next day. But my dad was like, you have to go for Miss Universe India. That's your dream. And I'm like, that's uncertain though. Like, is it going to work out or not? He's like,
So
go.
basically, then you are the one who has to believe in destiny.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it
So
was-
many times.
It wasn't really by design. You just came across that post and then you are here. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Where do you want to see yourself 5 years or 10 years down the line?
Well, that's a long time, but the way I see the trajectory of my life for now is in Bollywood. I do like the idea of me being on the screen. I like the art of acting, and I have really put in my work when it comes to that.
Bollywood, fine, but at what role? I'm sure that you don't want to be one of the supporting roles. You want to be the one of the protagonist, the main character.
It's interesting you ask me that because the main thing for me is the love for the art when it comes to acting. But of course, whose dream is it not to be the main lead character? And I've always been the lead character of my life, so I have to be for it.
So you want to be in Bollywood, right?
Yes.
And 5 years down the line, if you have to visualize yourself in Bollywood, how do you visualize yourself?
Well, I want to be able to transform what Bollywood is because I know for a fact that Bollywood has already brought so much to the table, and when it comes to bringing something new to the table, that is what I really enjoy.
No, but then hang on. Then are you saying that you're going to be a director? Because if you're an actor, you got to take up the role and whatever the role demands, the way the director wants,
Yeah.
you got to be that. You won't have a chance or an opportunity to change anything about Bollywood or even for the matter of fact that film itself
Yeah.
because you're an actor.
Well, I think the choice that I do have is where I will make the change. Where you have options when it comes to choosing from directors and producers. I
Right.
think there are so many people coming about now with the advent of...
There's some film that you're already acting or it's on the floor?
Well, there is something that I'm not sure I can really speak of just yet, too much in detail. I can give you the name. It's called Karmanya.
Karmanya.
Karmanya, that's the title. I don't know if I can give too much detail apart from that.
What does it mean?
Like the name suggests, karma.
Karma.
And it
It's
is...
Hindi.
It is Hindi,
Okay.
yes.
And it's a web series or a film?
No, it's going to be a big film that's
film.
going to be displayed
You
on
signed
big
it.
screens. Yes, I have.
Very good. Is
Yeah.
on the floor or in the pre-production stage?
No, so I just finished with the all the practice sessions and all of the acting sessions that we had with the other actors. And now we'll go on set, I think in a couple of months now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a pre-production stage.
It's
now.
pre-production, yes.
Very good. All the best.
Thank you.
So that's your first step into Bollywood.
Yeah.
And then, so 5 years, where do you want to see yourself? You can always say that you haven't thought through. There is one way, one school of thoughts, which says that take every day at a time, every project at a time. Don't plan too much. There's another school of thoughts which say that if you do not have the visibility of where you want to be, whether you would really get there or not. It's like that famous conversation in Alice in Wonderland. Do you know about it?
Yes, of course. And you just confused me, so now I'm going to ask you. Can I ask you?
Yeah, sure, of course. It's an exchange.
Yeah, I think you said that either there are two schools of thoughts. Either you decide what you want to do or you don't. But
There
then for
could
somebody,
be a third school of thoughts also.
Wow.
I'm saying that there are two. It's not an exhaustive list. There could be a third one. But I've seen people who take life one at a time,
Right.
or goals one at a time, and then there are people who are thinking through and seeing through. So
and I
your
think that's the most interesting thing, because you don't really need to follow somebody else's rule book. Something that has worked for somebody else is not necessarily going to work for you, and that's what I've learned along my way. Do you agree with that?
While every individual is an individual in themselves, but there are common learnings which apply to the whole world. You can't say that those learnings will not apply. It's not that you can cut and paste somebody else's life book into your life book and learn from there. It's not that. That you don't have to follow a rule book,
Yeah,
but you have to follow some book.
you do.
Yeah. So that
And I think that's very good, because it brings me to the point that you need a guru in your life. Do you agree with that? That there has to be that one person that you look up to, that you follow, you listen to, and anything that they say is true.
So I look at it this way. I don't think that you need to follow anyone. I mean, you might have a role model who would just be a reference frame.
Okay.
Well, that's a reference frame. Maybe I'll be better than them, or I'll be as good as them. You don't have to follow anyone. But I agree with you that everybody needs a mentor, because what I understand, you have your own independent mind. You are an independent thinker. You are an intelligent human being. So my suggestion to you would be, have a mentor, but then do not lose out on your individuality.
Yeah.
Have you learned anything from your mistakes so far? I'll give you an example. For instance, you won the Miss India Universe, right? That's a brilliant achievement, and that's not a normal thing, okay? Then you went to the global stage, and where you are possibly there in the top 30, right? I just got a glimpse of one of your answers there. I'll come back to that later. But did you learn anything? If I take that as a failure, did you learn anything which essentially will make you more equipped if you hypothetically get another opportunity to be in the same situation?
100%.
So what are the mistakes that you've learned from?
The first one, right off the bat, I'll begin with Miss Universe India. Although I did win it, if I could have done something differently, that would have enhanced the experience that I had, that would have made it a little bit better.
Like?
Would be that in the initial few days, like I think the first 2 to 3 days that I was there, I was extremely stuck up on the fact that I'll have to be very serious. I do not need to talk to the other girls. I have to be in my own zone.
It's on your own you got stuck up on the fact.
Oh, yes. Because in my mind, I thought that if I distract myself with...
You wanted to concentrate.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I distract myself with, other people, and I make my energies disrupt...
Nobody advised you on this.
Nobody advised me
This is
on
your
this.
own mind at play.
Yes.
Okay, then?
And in my mind, I thought if I don't let my energies get, clouded with other people's, then that'll be a very good thing. But I forgot one thing which was very important, which was that even if I interacted with those people, it should not have gotten clouded either ways.
I clearly could make out that you're not the same you there at the Miss Universe level.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, maybe.
You don't seem to be that much focused on your social media. Is that true?
When it comes to social media being important or not, I don't think it's absolute.
People at large, or your fans at large, the audience at large, would look at you primarily as a beautiful woman.
All the assets that I have, I'm going to use it in order to make my dreams come true.
I am more interested to know that what you think you could have done differently, where you would have been in the top 6 or the top 5 or would have won that crown as well. So is there anything that you learned?
As boring as it sounds, your preparation. I had very little amount of time, and that's not an excuse by any means.
Preparation in the sense?
Preparations in the sense I should have known how to do my hair properly. I should have known how to do my makeup properly.
There was no advisor for you. There was no consultant for you on this.
I did a lot of shoots in Vietnam before I went for Miss Universe. Yes. Which was like a training for me because I could see how they were doing it, and it really helped me. If I wouldn't have done that, then I would have been at complete zero. I wouldn't have known how to do anything.
Okay.
So I did learn a little bit, but it should have been perfect. I should have gone in as the complete prototype of what a winner should have been. Because when they look at a winner, they see that spark. They see that something that is there in that winner.
So you realize that you are underprepared during the course of the competition or later?
It's very difficult because, again, see, this is so abstract. How do you know that this person does this better than me?
I'll tell you, not better than, I'll tell you why. I saw your interaction, the question answers in Miss India Universe, a glimpse of that. And I saw a glimpse of what happened in Miss Universe. I clearly could make out that you're not the same you there at the Miss Universe level. That's my perspective. Mm-hmm. So here, you gave a feeling that you have won it half in your mind. And I always believe that the winner is first born in your mind. So you possibly were prepared that I'm going there to win. Though you were a wild card entry there, right? But there, that spark, that level of confidence was missing to my eyes.
Now that is something new. I've actually, that could be, maybe. I probably need to think about it even more because when I went into it, I knew there were 130 countries and I knew that they had a whole lot of time to be with their team, to really settle in. If I were to go now, I think it would have turned out completely differently.
Brilliant.
Yes.
That's what it is. That's what it calls for.
Yeah.
You know, as we say, life will always knock you down. How many times you get up, learn from the failures, and again win. That's what counts.
But you can't go for Miss Universe again.
That's okay. There would be something else. You would possibly win an Oscar.
Bigger than?
Bigger than. So it's never the end. The learning is invaluable.
Yeah.
And now you after that you come back, as I said, that you're on the springboard. Now poised for the next big leap.
Yeah.
So to rub that off, the only relevance, the only utility of past is the learning that you get from here.
Yeah.
So coming back to communication, social media, it's like a necessary evil today. One doesn't know whether it has more good or more harm that it's doing to the society. And the trade, the profession that you're going into, it becomes an integral part of your career, right? Yeah. So what's your take on social media? You don't seem to be that active, or you don't seem to be that much focused on your social media. Is that true, or you take it very seriously?
When it comes to social media being important or not, I don't think it's absolute. There is good things and bad things to it. And when it comes to me being very active, I think I'm pretty active when it comes on social media. Maybe it's not managed in a certain way. Maybe I've not given it to somebody to, take over.
Oh, yeah, obviously somebody manages it for you, right?
They look after it, but I have told them that I want to be the primary person to take care of it because I want to be able to engage with. See, I'm at a stage right now where if people don't engage with the real person that I am, then it'll be very hard to create a connect. I'm not there at a stage where they're connected with my art just yet.
So you are focused on that. You want to build on that, right?
It's not a complete dive into it. I'm just doing it because I really enjoy it for now.
Oh, you enjoy it?
I do.
Okay, so there's not an objective. It's not a tool for you to reach your goal. It's just there.
It helps.
Yeah. Tell me something that the profession that you're getting into or your achievements, it possibly willy-nilly ascribes your success to a large extent to your physical beauty, right? Which essentially takes away the focus from the cerebral quotient you might have. right? So is it a stigma for you, or you think that it's a lever which you're going to enjoy and use? Does this thought cross your mind that while you're an intelligent personality, but the whole world now knows you primarily for your looks and your pulchritude and your beauty?
Yeah, that does happen. Like a lot of people point out, anytime I go for like a dinner, they're like, "Oh, you're so beautiful," and then it's a conversation. And then I actually point out that how that is not the most important conversation. I actually redirect them and start having a more important conversation, something that actually matters in today's day.
So that's exactly I meant, that you have an independent mind, you can carry on with a conversation, but people at large, or your fans at large, the audience at large, would look at you primarily as a beautiful woman. So I'm saying that, do you want to live with it and leverage that and grow on that? Or does it ever cross your mind that, well, the other side also you'll be trading? Like whether how you look will continue to be important, or what you say would also be eventually more important. What you say is basically a reflection of your cerebral quotient.
And it doesn't have to be in isolation. I think
Both.
It's a short life. It's a very short life we have, and I'm going to have to use everything that's in my advantage. All the assets that I have, I'm going to use it in order to make my dreams come true. So if it is the looks that are making it happen, I will use that and also drag along my intelligence and then prove it to people.
So
That is
you
one
are
way to do it.
conscious about that fact.
Oh yeah, I know that. Work Ready with Rhea is what I had taken up, where I was helping youngsters.
Complete the sentences.
Okay.
I am willing to travel the entire world to meet a person who... One thing in the world that you would change.
I have a lot of things I want to change.
One of the experiences that you want to delete from your life.
Another way of asking if I have any regrets.
There's a youth thing that you're involved with. What's that? That Work Ready with Rhea.
Yes. So right when I had applied, I realized that there is a whole lot of requirements, and that's what makes a pageant and not just a beauty contest. And I think people have misconstrued the entire idea of what a pageant is. There is a mission that you have in order to make lives better. And so Work Ready with Rhea is what I had taken up, where I was helping youngsters who don't really have the power of communication, because that's something that I was really good at, because I had taken part in pageants, I had learned how to speak, and I realized how it changed my life, and I knew how it could help others as well. Especially youngsters who are trying to apply for jobs and who are trying to get into universities, and they're just getting stuck by that bridge that needs to be created.
So you worked on it, and then now
Yes.
it's in dormant situation, or it's still alive, or you're
Yes,
still
so once my
active?
reign is over, I'll be able to take it up again, because there's a lot of requirements that I have when it comes to Miss Universe India, and now because the auditions have also begun.
Okay.
So once I get some time, I'll actually be able to make it happen again, which I already did, but it's on hold for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you set your goals up, you do your planning, you have your conviction, and put into practice, and then you visualize that how that time is. How do you see yourself in that situation?
Do you agree that to achieve insane level of greatness, you need to have the most craziest thoughts and actions? Like, for example, I'll give you my example, and I want to know yours, because you, of course, have achieved greatness. That when I have many stories, but one of which would be when I was around 10 to 12 years old, I would go to my balcony and I would wave like a crazy person, especially when it was COVID. When the COVID time was going on, I took that opportunity when nobody was around, and I would also look around, and I was like, if there were people and there was audience around here and I just got a little bit of fame, I would take it from there. I just need that little bit of visibility, and then I would make sure that I would make a star out of myself. That's the thing I would tell myself, and that was insane, because I had nothing to do with the industry. So did you do anything silly like that?
I don't know which one is more silly, but I could relate with it. Now, if I think back, I joined an organization as a management trainee. For us, life is more structured. Once you take the academic route, the upside is also limited. The safety net is also secure. But as a management trainee, I used to think that I am ready to be the CEO the next day. So I don't know if yours was more insane or my thoughts were more insane, but that's what I was thinking. Quite naturally, there were not too many takers of it. I was the only one who was thinking about it. But I set my eyes on that at that very early age. I don't think that there was a batch of management trainees, 8 of them. I don't think as yet, I'm not sure about them, but I don't think anybody was thinking that way. And as of now, today, I have contact with some of them. None of them had made it to that level. So I believe, like in your case, you were thinking, you visualized in your subconscious mind that is what you're born for.
Yeah.
And you're here.
Many people would think I was silly. Like, they would tell me on my face that, oh my God, you're so silly, you think these things. But those are, and do you think, would you credit that to your success? That craziness?
I won't call it craziness.
Okay.
I would call it an aspiration. So if you have to set a goal, you should set a goal for the moon. And you would land up somewhere in between. When you set a goal, it has to be an audacious goal. It has to be a goal which is seemingly impossible to achieve.
Right.
And then you work towards it and make it possible.
Yeah. Like the vision and mission, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's part of vision. They say company vision. So for an individual also, I believe that every one of us, it's like an institution or an organization.
Mm-hmm.
So the same motto or the theories or the norms which get applied to an organization applies to an individual also.
Right.
And more in your case, because in our case, we are not self-employed. We are part of an organization. But you would be almost on your own all through till the time you turn an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So you are an institution, you are the organization yourself. So you should have those things. So audacious goal is part of the vision statement of an organization. So that every individual needs to have. I don't call it crazy.
Yes. Oh, that makes sense.
Right. So then I would have a set of questions for you.
Okay.
Which you need to complete the sentences. The best advice that I've ever got was,
oftentimes, people are right. When you doubt yourself in the moments that you're low, and other people are like, oh, it's so easy for you. You're just that person and you're going to make it happen. And I'm just like, you have no idea how difficult it is. Hold your thoughts back and just listen to them. More often than not, they're right. And what they'll say will actually be true. And I know people often say, don't listen to others, but this is where I'd say listen to them.
Next question, if I go back in time, I would
change nothing.
Change nothing. Brilliant. This is a very important question for me, very close to my heart. I am willing to travel the entire world to meet a person who
gives me the kind of love that even I can't give to myself, because that is impossible.
Your selection criteria and your elimination criteria. When you meet a person, what are those aspects or traits in a person who, having looked at them, you would absolutely eliminate those people?
The one big thing for me is they have to be able to listen to me and take interest in what I'm saying.
One thing in the world that you would change?
I have a lot of things I want to change.
Tell me.
As beautiful as everything is, and I think the amount of negativity, if I say that, it really covers a lot of things, which is why I'm taking that word. A lot of wars, politically speaking as well. A lot of hate is being thrown at people for no reason, without even understanding where they're coming from.
So the whole negativity that if you could change in the world?
I would change that. I would try to bring a little bit more love in people.
One thing that you would change in yourself?
I'm a little bit sharp on my edges. And I know that as I grow a little bit, they will kind of soften up. My interactions with people become a little bit easier. But right now, I catch on to things and I hold on to them. I try to let go, but I really stick to them sometimes.
One of the experiences that you want to delete from your life?
Another way of asking if I have any regrets. I'm going to have to think this one through, because every single time anyone asks me if I have any regrets, I say no, because everything has just gone so well for me and I don't want to jinx it. what if I just say I don't have an answer to that?
That's okay.
I would not delete anything.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That's very good. So be like that. That's about it. Rhea, thank you very much for being on Duologue Next. And it's been a pleasure talking to you.